it's really time to care. If you care about something, give it your time, give it your best shot, give it your best effort, do something. Hello, I'm Sharon, and one of the co-founders of the Projector, an independent cinema in Singapore, and I'm also an urban planner by training. Welcome to Framing Perspectives. So Scala is really, for me, a heart-rending eulogy to a cinema that means a lot to people. And this is specifically a film about the people that used to work at Scala, about the relationships they have with not only the cinema, but also with each other. And all the while they're tearing down the interiors of the cinema as well. So for me, it's not just a love letter, it's also quite a sad thing to see, but I do recognize a lot of the very similar elements that we have at the Projector as well when we were setting up. But it's also very similar to it being taken down. So it's kind of interesting because I guess if I think of my memories of setting up the Projector in reverse, it's very similar to what we're witnessing in Scala. Because I did manage to visit the Scala in 2018. This photo means a lot to me. I took it because I was trying to communicate that sense of space. But what I'm trying to show here is how democratic the space is. It's literally at the base of where the grand staircase leads you up to the box office of the Scala cinema. But it's democratic because it's completely, well, open as it can be. There are no doors you need to push to enter the space. If it's raining, as we know it does in Thailand, you can just come in and shelter. And for me, it's a way to welcome people in, even though they might not be watching a film. They might end up watching a film because of how open it is. And this whole sense of space with the double volume is really what makes that space feel really majestic, especially when you're looking towards the chandelier. And a lot of buildings nowadays, you probably realize, also in Singapore, they tend to have, you know, the wall drops down to the ground. You feel like you're excluded from the space, whereas this is completely different. This is a scene of the fabric on the walls being taken down. And so it exposes basically everything else. It's almost like seeing a naked cinema. And what reveals is, I guess, vulnerabilities, but it's not. It really is the core of the cinema, which is the sound system. And for the first time, it's almost like you're kind of embarrassed to see the state of the cinema like this. This is what I also saw of the Projector when we first started renovating the space. And the screen is really, you know, the heart of the cinema. It's not something someone going to the cinema would ever see, but it also feels like the grand old dame has been undressed. And again, it's very sad to see, but interestingly enough, the staff say things like, after all these years, I never knew how these inner parts of the cinema system worked. And for me, this is both very insightful, if you've never seen it before, but also, again, very sad, but interesting at the same time. And so just to contrast with the Projector, so this is a red room. Before we first opened, we also had that kind of draping curtains that you can see. I think ours was more silky feeling compared to the velvet that they have. But it really creates that sense of grandness, right? And the uplighting as well. My hopes and aspirations for the Projector, and by extension, cinematic spaces in Singapore, is really prolonged existence and also endurance. I hope spaces like ours will endure the test of time, and also the test of competition from Netflix and what have you, and all the streaming services, and people not wanting to get out of their house anymore, especially with COVID, because that really made people very comfortable to be at home. I'm showing some old images. This was taken in 2015, August. This was our very first sold-out screening at the Projector, and it was the screening of Amy, the documentary. And I know people look very happy, right? But then they're going to watch the documentary and become very sad. But of course, we don't tell them that. But for us, this was really, you know, the best thing that could ever happen. We never imagined that we would have a sold-out screening, especially for a documentary, because documentaries have been known to not really attract a sizable audience. But we proved them wrong. When I look back at this photo, I really love all the smiling faces, because that really is the vibe that we had wanted to attract to the cinema, which is people enjoying themselves and enjoying film. just being happy to be there. So it's really a space for everyone. It's time to care, or dare to care. I was inspired because I went through some of my Projector archives and I found this tag, and it was very serendipitous because it just appeared randomly in my folder. But this is one of our Indigo supporters, and this is what they engraved on one of their seats that they adopted when we were sourcing for funds. And it says, "Dare to imagine, dare to care." And for me, it's really time to care. If you care about something, give it your time, give it your best shot, give it your best effort, do something. If you care about something, treat it well, don't take it for granted. I think people are scared to care. They want to be slightly detached because they don't want to be disappointed if they don't achieve what they hope they can achieve. But the whole point is, and I like how they've said it, is to dare to care. You need to rise to that challenge that you set to yourself, to care about something so much that other people will care about it as well. And of course, power in numbers. If more people care about something, hopefully it will have a chance to survive. And yes, that's what I hope to achieve with It's Time.